So what is going on, guys? This is Ryan here.
And this is other Ryan here.
And welcome back, guys, to once again another theory video. And this one is going to be based on the newest teaser image on ScottGames.com, which appears to show a button in the middle with mini arenas in the background.
Yeah, more specifically, we're going to be focusing on the actual text of this image.
Yeah, because we both believe it has a lot to offer in terms of what this game might actually be about. And we think that the sister location might bring back a few familiar faces and we may actually be playing as them.
So if you remember the baby teaser, basically baby is saying please remain in your seats. That seems more like a request. This one is more of a demand, a statement. It's almost like someone is telling, well, obviously someone is telling these people, whoever we're looking at, maybe the Belloras in the background, or maybe there's one that's meant to be in the middle there behind the button, but basically telling them to get back on the stage, which in itself is suggesting that these animatronics have some kind of flipping conscience to know what to do, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Like almost the person who's speaking this dialogue knows that he has a way to talk to these animatronics almost directly.
Exactly.
And it wouldn't really make much sense, you know, we have like the security guards in the past FNAFs where we've played as them, and they seem very kind of not really knowing what's going on. They can be fired, things like that, and it seems like they get fired for some obvious reasons, but most of the time we need the phone guy to guide us through what's going on. However, the text here shows that whoever is probably going to be leading the FNAF sister location, aka the guy we're playing as, he knows exactly what to do with these animatronics to get them to do what he needs them to.
Yes, and this goes on to the source code. If you look at the source code, we can see Afton Robotics in the source code, and if you read the Silver Eyes novel, you'll know that Afton Robotics is actually, well, that's who the purple guy is. William Afton is his name.
Absolutely, and if you're not getting what we're getting at with this one, guys, what we're trying to reference is the fact that we might actually be playing as the purple guy in the FNAF sister location. There's a few things for and against this, and I'm sure you guys are saying things like, well, we saw him die in the FNAF 3 game. We've got that covered, and we're going to be covering that in depth as well, so you guys can hopefully have a case closed, or maybe you might get some new ideas in regards to the whole scenario with that there.
Yeah, so basically Afton Robotics is a company, and who's to say that this company isn't a family company? Sure, like Ryan said, Purple Guy does die at the end of FNAF 3, but who's to say that maybe a son of his, a daughter of his, that maybe he had wasn't carrying on his legacy?
Absolutely. Like, I think the biggest hint here is the fact that in the source code, Scott chose to tease what I believe to be something that's important towards the Five Nights at Freddy's sister location game, and he wouldn't have done that if it wasn't completely irrelevant. I think what Scott's trying to do here is give us all a notification that all the animatronics we're seeing in this game are being made under the company that the purple guy might potentially own and run. And again, like, we got to go back to this, like, if this guy here is well, the text we're presuming to be from the perspective of maybe a guy who's working in this place, if that is a guy who's actually telling these animatronics what to do, then who's to say that the purple guy may have not programmed the AI so that they can understand this sort of statement?
Yeah, and I mean, it's just weird that Scott actually included, I mean, this is a very weird thing to pick up on, but it's weird that Scott actually included a full stop at the end of now, because it really just cements the fact that it's authority, it's that I'm not to be messed with kind of thing. Do what I say, else something's going to happen.
Yeah, like almost like an upper hierarchy with the animatronics, isn't it?
Yeah.
And again, it's like, you think back to the teaser trailer as well, and we heard things like, don't hold it against us, you don't know what we've been through. So it might be the animatronics potentially rebelling against the purple guy and maybe not listening to these demands, and maybe this is where the faults in the game starts coming and where the issues can arise.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we know there's going to be voice acting. I think Scott actually confirmed that there is going to be voice acting.
Yes.
Well, the fact that we can actually hear Baby's voice in the FNAF World ending of Update 2. Maybe this is an actual quote of, maybe if there is a phone call, for example, maybe the night guard's doing something, and then in the background you just hear, get back on your stage now, and I don't know, it'll be awesome to see, I guess.
There's a few things now that people will probably be saying about this whole concept that, hang on a second, in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, we clearly see the purple guy die and become a victim to the spring trap suit and suffer a spring lock failure. Now, if this game is actually set in the future, there's one of two possibilities. The first one being, of course, that the purple guy in FNAF 3 was a separate guy altogether from the one in FNAF 2, but I mean, he is purple. I think the connection's made to be there. So if it is set in the future, what's to say that the line of work has not been passed down to potentially a son? And this might be like the son's, for example, first ever time in the establishment, and maybe he's going to get introduced to this stuff, but he might have an essence of how the company runs.
Yeah, this is what I was saying. Obviously, we don't know if the purple guy has a son or not. We know that William Afton has a business partner. That's as much as we know. I mean, say if he did have a son, he would know how the company works. He would have obviously grew up around his dad doing all this stuff. And obviously, if we know the purple guy to be this kind of, well, murderous person, I could say. So who's to say he's not very demanding like he is here? Get back on your stage stage now to his own son, say, this is what you're going to do in life. You are going to take care of these animatronics kind of thing.
Absolutely. And I guess then it comes in as to who is the purple guy's son, because, we've had 4 games, and I think there might actually be some kind of connection here, because we've already linked the girl with the pigtails potentially into the sister location, how she might slightly be entwined with the storyline and things like that. But we've got to think about maybe the older brother or maybe the younger son, the crying child, aka. Yeah. I personally think that these might be entwined within the story to a bit more of a high degree, because of course in FNAF 4, when we're playing as the crying child, we see things like the purple phone. We see then the robot as well, and like these are all Scott's creations. We see a picture as well of Scott and his sons on the wall. So who's to say that Scott's not kind of putting himself in the role of the purple guy in this scenario? And if we are playing as the crying child in these nights, that means our older brother might still be alive, and then he might have actually grown up to then take over this company, which would be extremely interesting.
Yeah, that would be very strange, actually, and it would be a very good way to end it, I guess you could say. I don't think Scott's actually going to end it here. I think there might be another part, but still, to know that it was Scott all along.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome.
And it'd be cool as well to see him linking the sister location more within the lore that we've already seen with the other games, because it's been nearly a year since we've had a new FNAF game in terms of the actual FNAF 1 to 4. That's excluding FNAF World. So adding on to the lore might be very interesting, and it makes me really interested as well, because if we are playing as the purple guy, of course, and we might get some loose ends tied up with the lore, and I mean maybe more questions will be answered, and well, it's pretty much guaranteed that new ones will also arise as well. So there we have it, guys. That's a pretty interesting topic and a very interesting thing also to pick up on with this newest teaser image. It'd be nice to see what other images come as well, and maybe the text will reveal more secret stuff like this, but until it actually happens, only time will tell, guys, and we can only ponder in our heads.
Yeah, if you guys did enjoy this theory, why not leave a like rating down below, and if you're new to the channel, why not subscribe for more videos like this and also some indie games.
So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. We of course hope you did enjoy, and we will of course see you on the next one.
Goodbye, guys.
Want to see even more content from us?
Consider liking and subscribing to ensure you'll see all content in the foreseeable future.
And hey, why not check out our past 2 videos?